Hey everyone, I'm here today with Melanie. Melanie, would you be so kind to introduce yourself to our viewers?
Of course. Hi, my name is Melanie Hudson-Bühler. I'm 20 years old and currently I'm living in Los Angeles.
Perfect. So you're living in Los Angeles. Maybe you can give us a quick breakdown of what you're doing there, why LA, and give us a breakdown of the time that you're currently spending in LA.
Yes, of course. So I'm studying acting in LA. I'm at the Los Angeles City College, and I moved to Los Angeles in, I think, December, on Christmas. And yeah, so I've spent 6 months there already.
Perfect. So you're back again here. We had an interview before you went to the US. Now you're between your first and your second semester. Take us back in time a little bit when you decided to go to the US. Where did the original idea to study in the US come from?
Originally, I wanted to study in Germany, but then I was like, I only wanted to have a semester in the US, and then I found you, and I was like, hey, I can do my whole studies there. So I was so happy to realize that, and then I decided, okay, let's do the whole 3 years there.
Perfect. Wow. So you study at Los Angeles Community College or Los Angeles City College. The abbreviation is LACC.
Yes.
Just for the viewers, in case we mention LACC, that's what that is.
Exactly.
If you could boil it down, and you have so much time ahead of you, but just in your first semester, what are the 3 major experiences that you can already take from it?
So I think the main part and the most important part for me is I found so many friends and so many international students, not only from Germany but also from all around the world, who have the same goals as you do. So you're not the crazy one anymore who wants to study in the US from Germany, but there's so many people who support you. Then also, of course, your language. It improves so quickly and you just speak English the entire day, and you don't have any other opportunity or choice. You have to speak English. And also, of course, the way you study there is totally different from Germany. So it's a whole new thing, and you just are so, you have to do everything on your own. So you're very, I forgot the word. Independent, right. Those 3 things I think are the most important things for me.
Is there any biggest benefit aside from the experiences, anything that you really feel like you could take from it so far?
I think mostly you learn that you never learned enough. There is always something you can learn, and especially in acting. I think there are a lot of people who think, okay, now you studied acting and you're done, but that's never it. So you never stop learning, and I think the college is the main base to learn how to learn and what to do.
Why would you recommend others to go there, and also who would you recommend it to? Do you have to be a certain personality if you're deciding to go to the US or not?
I think everyone can go there because it depends also what do you want to do there. So I'm an actress and it's cool to be open and maybe, I don't know, open-hearted, warm-hearted, but if you want to study psychology, for example, you can be a whole different type of person and still enjoy it there. So I think everyone is good in the US.
And why did you decide to go to LACC specifically?
LACC has the offer of the Acting Academy. They train professional actors or to become a professional actor. And this is a whole entire program for 3 years where you just learn everything about acting. You learn how to sing, how to dance. You have vocal and physical development, for example, of course, acting, even shop class, which is a technical stage production, and you learn how to build props and how to connect lighting. So I think as an actress, for example, it's one of the best schools. I think the LACC is the 6th best college in the US. So
for acting,
I think for acting or for the entire college, no matter what you do. I'm not sure in this one, but I heard that.
Let's go a little bit deeper in your experience. You mentioned that you had a job already starting there. Maybe you can tell us a little bit more about your experience and then talk about your first job in front of the camera.
Okay, so usually as a first semester, you're not allowed to do things.
Usually.
Oh,
you bend rules.
But I'm a rule breaker here. No, but I play the piano, and people heard me playing the piano, and they said, "Hey, we need a pianist for production." And they said, "Can you play in front of the director?" So I played in front of the director, and they said, "Yes, we want you." And now I'm in the production, and in September, I think we're going on tour in LA, different colleges. And yeah, it's Melancholia. Greetings to the Melancholia cast. And it's a wonderful production. We spent so much time together. It's a beautiful, beautiful play, and it's very deep, and I love it there. I had school until 5 p.m. and then we had rehearsal until 9 p.m. and 10. And the film production was with a girl named Rita. She is the scriptwriter and the director of the pilot shoot. So this is like the first episode of the series. And yeah, we filmed it. At first I was signing as an extra, like the people in the background of the movies. Like if you're in a restaurant, there are always like people sitting there talking. Right. And also I was saying like, hey, if you need help, I can help you with anything. So they sent me in as a PA. And then suddenly she liked me. And she said, hey, we want to add a line for you. And so I got a little role in this movie and I loved it.
Congrats. And you mentioned before that you even got a credit at the Internet Movie Database,
yes.
IMDb, so your name will pop up there in the future.
Exactly. Let's hope so. If everything works out well.
But that's a start.
That's a start. I mean, I was in the US for not in the US, but at college for 3 weeks. And then to have like 3 weeks after starting with college and in the US, having an IMDb credit is incredible.
What is the most valuable lesson you could learn from it? I mean, you said your day is packed. It starts early, it ends late. And so not only what is the lesson you got from it, but how are you applying that lesson, whatever it is, to your daily and professional life?
I think one of the most important lessons is to be yourself, and it's okay to be imperfect, because that's maybe what they're looking for. I'm a perfectionist, so it was very hard. It's still very hard for me to learn that. So I try to apply that for my real life and basic life, everyday life, because being imperfect and just trusting yourself, trusting your gut is what brings you like the furthest you can get. And it's like in this production, so many things go wrong, but it's still going to be a beautiful project in the end. So I think that's what I learned most.
So do you think it's about improvising?
It's not only about improvising. Of course, improvising is part of it. But for example, in the movie, and sometimes it's like even better because the director maybe never thought about it. Right. But I think it's more like, okay, don't overthink things. Right. It's important to learn. It's important to start study your character and everything. But in the end, you just have to trust yourself. And so I think it's like just be yourself and everything will work out.
Perfect. And aside from let's say your experience as you're on stage as an actress, like you learn things academically in college, but then you also rehearse a lot. There's a lot of life around that.
Yeah.
Take us to like a typical day at LACC. What does your day on campus look like, and are there any special opportunities to maybe even network with other students around there?
So the first semester is packed with classes.
Okay.
They try like to show you an acting life isn't as easy as people think. So my usual day, like let's say Tuesday, started and at 8, I think, in the first semester, and went until 5. So we had vocal development class at first, then I had TA 100, which is like the theoretical part of acting. Then I had my acting class, which was 3 hours a day. And
3 hours a day?
Yes.
That one class?
That one class is Tuesdays and Thursdays, 3 hours, wow. Yes. Okay. And then we had a shop class, the technical production class, from 3 to 5, and this was every day. So every day, Monday through Thursday, we had shop class. And so this was my day for school.
Oh, so there is a lot of school day.
Exactly. We have like 4 days out of 5. Like Friday is the only day we had like free time. Okay. Especially in the acting academy. I think maybe some lessons in different departments, but we had like Fridays free. And after the 5 p.m. shop class, especially with Melancholia, I had to run to the rehearsal, and from 5 until 9 we had rehearsal, and then I go home to bed and the day starts again. But I love doing that because that's everything I want to do, so that's not a problem for me.
Now you're doing this obviously for fun. Like I feel like knowing you and knowing and feeling the way you talk about it, you are enjoying the way to the goal. The goal being the degree and the professional careers that are going to open for it. Melanie, what are your long-term career objectives?
Of course, as an acting student, I want to become a working actress because that's why I'm doing this here. So I want to be in movies, productions, even maybe, I thought about maybe even going further and studying musical after I finished this degree, because I went to the Tootsie musical and I fell in love with it. So
what kind of
Tootsie musical, it's in LA, they did a Broadway show, so they went on tour and they went in Hollywood, and I watched it and I'm like, I love musicals. I was part of a musical a few years ago, and that brought back memories. And I think that's the thing, that as an actor you find so many things that you want to do, and after I finish or graduate, I want to apply to agencies and start booking things and going on auditions. So that's my goal, and maybe someday you'll see me in the movies.
Thank you so much for actually talking about your life in the US, and thank you for sharing your experience with our viewers as well. I want to ask you about your experience with Epro 360. During your time in the US, were you always able to connect to us if you had any questions and reach out back to Epro 360?
Yes, of course. I mean, I had all of your numbers and Instagram accounts, so it was never a problem to ask something. And also, actually, Aaron showed me the connection to Darren Grosh in our. It's an LACC. I'm not sure if he's a teacher, but he's like connected to all the international students, and he helped me with my job and everything. So I already, before I was at LACC, I had the connection to people there, and while I'm here at LACC, I always have the opportunity to call you, and so that's wonderful. Really, I never feel alone there.
So how does it feel for you to be a part of the Epro 360 community?
It's amazing. I mean, I told you already, Luel, for example, we're still friends, or we're good friends already, and that's because of you guys, because we connected, and she also studies acting, and so we even met in Los Angeles. We actually only met once in Germany, and already like two or three times in LA. And also Marvin, who's at the Orange Coast College, he helped me with deciding which college I want to choose. So it really feels great to be part of a community.
Now, I know there are people watching that maybe have just embarked on their journey and have just gotten started with their application process, but you're definitely ahead of them. And then I know there are people watching that are still debating. Should I do it? Is the US, is it too crazy of a dream for me? Should I not do it? What would you give, like what's a piece of advice for somebody who is currently watching that video, who is still in that decision-making process?
So guys, believe in yourself. I always say that, like, it's okay to dream big, because there's so many things out there that you don't know of yet, and everything can happen. And so if you do that and maybe you're overwhelmed with the process, don't be. I did that. So for example, the visa process is so complicated. So just go through it. It will be one of the best times of your life. I've been living in LA for half a year now, and it still feels like a dream for me. I'm looking at the Hollywood sign, I'm like, am I really here? And so just do it. I mean, worst thing that can happen is, okay, you go there for half a year and have wonderful experience, wonderful friends, and then you go home and say, wow,
that's the worst thing.
That's the worst thing that can happen. And you just will have a wonderful experience. You'll meet so many new people and learn so much. And I grew so much in the past half year. It's like, I'm not a whole different person, but I'm like so much more mature, and I'm like independent. And yeah, so definitely do it. Don't even think about it. Just do it, and you will be grateful for all those experiences you will have.
And I can personally assess, you were a pretty ball of energy, but now you're just a bigger ball of energy.
Oh my God, so is that even possible?
I can't wait to hear more from you, and I guess this is the second time, and it's hopefully not the last time that you'll visit us.
Yes.
We wish you
definitely
all the best for your continuous journey in
Thank
Hollywood,
you.
and hopefully give the world a chance to see more of you in the movies. We can't wait to hear from you.
Thank you so much.
And until next time, thank you for having you. Bye.